head underneath.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm trying to put my head into his ear or his cheekbone, whatever he's comfortable with. And then I come up.
It's just inside tie.
Yeah. Like if he just grabbed my head, I can just do the exact same thing by getting my head in the way. It's a block. Leg here, as I pull down, he braces on that leg. But if I just shutter step this way to where his stance is open, and now I pull on his head, he doesn't have anything to block himself with. So switch your feet. Okay, so same thing here, right? I'm gonna get a good grip on his head, and I'm typically gonna be blocking with my elbow, because I don't want him to shoot. So if I'm up here, right, there's nothing stopping him from just going right underneath. There's nothing stopping him to come into me. But if I just put my elbow here, do the same thing, right? I can feel him coming in. So now what I'm going to be looking for is how do I get to the open part of his stance? Got to get to the open part of his stance. And as I do that, I'm going to pull down and I'm going to shuffle my feet backwards. That's it. Okay? So the open part of his stance is here. Here, I'm going to shuffle my feet backwards. Trying to get into the mat. I would like to bounce his face, right? That's my ultimate goal, is to bounce his face off the mat. He's probably going to catch himself with his hands, but he might not. So if we're here, and he's got a good grip on my arms because he's worried about coming in or me, like he wants to feel where I'm at, this is the guy that you're going to get snapped to his face. Okay, so in here, a quick step. I'm staying in my stance, so I'm not standing up. Okay, I'm coming in my stance here. Now I'm going to snap. I'm pulling him down and forward. And as I do that, I'm going to get my legs out of it. And so if his stance is switched, right? So he just switched his stance. Now I'm not going to circle to this leg, right? Because I can never get to the open part of his stance. So it's this way to his open stance. Snap his head down. Okay? I like to give a lot of force and I pull with the arm too. You can do it by just having his head here. You can try to snap him down, but I like to also have a hold of the back of his arm. I want to control his head with my head up, right? Because from here, I can move my shoulders, I can do all kinds of stuff. I can fake him, but if I'm here, we're dancing, okay? As you get to this point, they're gonna pull their arm back, right? So he's actually putting himself into a position where I can push him backwards, right? He's no longer in a good stance. So if I'm coming here and I'm coming in for my high dive and he puts himself here, then I'm just gonna double lift him because he already put himself in that position. The harder he pulls his arm back, the more open he is. Does that make sense? So same thing with your snap down. So as you snap him down here, okay, what I want to do is as soon as his hands land, I want to drive into him. I want to put my shoulder and drive into him. We're here, his stance is here to open. I'm snapping him down, boom. I'm catching him here and driving on him. This is where I want to be. I'm really comfortable here. I'm going to put my arm in between me and him. If I'm over the top here, he can come into my legs and do all kinds of stuff that I don't want him to do. But if I drop my shoulder right behind his neck on his shoulder blade and just put my arm in between us, now I can push in on him and wait to see what he does. If you snap somebody down, and this is why these two moves are important. I snap somebody down and he's shrugged his shoulders up and he's got a strong neck. So I snap him down here and it doesn't work, I can arm drag him. Right? So they're the same. I can arm drag him here, he pulls it back, you can snap him down, come back into an arm drag. You guys can transition into these different things. And if you keep on him like that with that pressure, then he doesn't get offensive on his feet. Another thing you can do, if you get him all the way down to here and he starts to come up, right, you can drag across here just to get him out of position, because your arm drag is just to get him out of his wrestling stance. So as a partner, what I want you guys to do is one person's going to snap, the other person is, you're not going to square your stance, but shrug your shoulders forward a little bit. Go ahead and snap me. So circle here and then snap. Okay, so the goal here would be to step into the snap, especially if he's not going to move his legs out of the way. Step into the snap and stay rigid. So as he goes snap, as he snaps down here to catch myself and come right back up. And you drag. Does that make sense? Yeah. So as a partner, what you're wanting to do is shrug your shoulders forward so that your neck is really strong. And as he snaps, you want to be coming down, and then right back up. Right? We don't want to end up here. We want to end up here. So practice that. As your part, one guy's doing a good snap, the other guy's staying in good position. You come back up. As he comes to his feet, okay, so as you're doing this, bring this foot back straight. Very good.
And then I can slip out.
It's not going to be a winning battle for him. Okay, so a couple things that I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drive my hips in and I'm going to start to try to pick him up just a little bit. Right? I don't want to pick him all the way up. I want to pick him up just enough that his feet come off. Okay? Watch my shoulders. I'm not pulling him off his feet. That's a lot of work. I'm literally stepping in, right? And I'm just pushing my hips forward. Boom. His feet come off the mat. Okay, so I can take him backwards or forward depending on what I want to do. So from here, up, keeping his foot out of the way, and coming down and landing. If I'm straight in front of him, so I did my arm drag and I'm straight in front of him here, most likely what I'm going to be doing is weighing down on his far thigh here. Trying to put pressure on his thigh to get him to fold down. Okay? So don't worry about, once you get there, don't worry about it. But if you put your hips in and just pop your hips up, his feet will come off, sweep his leg. All right, be careful that you don't bounce him. Like be conscious about that. But sweep his leg. If that doesn't work or you're still in front of him, just elbows together, pull down and into yourself, and little steps back and circle. Okay, so the last one is the most difficult. So I'm here to the side. Okay, I could drive in and pick him up, but I'm going to pressure down, pulling him into me. I'm just going to circle back and away. Okay. Make sense?
You're the
Grab your knees.
You weigh 7 more pounds.
I'm here.
Grab your knees. Come up by yourself. Hey, can I do that? You're picking him up about 6 inches too high. Just literally, just enough to clear his leg. For sure.
And you can't, you're kind of like, it feels like you're just
So I snap him down here. All I'm going to do is so I've got him out of position. He's leaning forward. He's in a good wrestling stance, but he's out of position. So all I'm going to do is shutter step to the side real quick, and I'm going to throw his head. Boom. Okay? I'm putting all of my pressure and all my force into it, and I'm literally throwing his head. Okay? So I snapped him down. Boom. Didn't work. Boom. Trying to push his head. Trying to push my hips and my shoulders all come together at the same time so I can throw him by. Okay? Okay, so I snap him down. His stance is pretty square, so I don't really need to do much. Snap him down, doesn't work. I'm gonna throw his head. Okay? Stepping into it and throwing it. No different than a baseball swing or whatever else, like you're throwing a punch, whatever. So, again, here, his stance, he's squared his stance now. Right, so I'm circling here, snapping him down. He comes back up, throwing his head. I can go to a body lock, double leg, whatever you guys want to do from there. He may not turn all the way, like when you throw him, so just try to stay square. So snapping him down here, right? I'm coming here, I'm turning him. He doesn't do anything, right? Now I'll snap him down again. It's a constant pressure on him. Snap, throw by, arm drag. And you stay on him like that, and then he's defensive. That makes sense? So stutter step towards his head. Hips and arm go at the same time and try to throw him in a circle. 1, 2. Pick him up.
Just want the backs of one's going to work better if they're really
Put him standing up and try to punch here.